Welcome to the Iowa Clinic. Staying fit in your 40s can lead to some extra aches and pains, but the pains Don Breeding started having while running concerned him, and when just walking became excruciating, he turned to the Iowa Clinic for help.
When I came in here, I was prepared to hear you're going to have your leg amputated to move around. It got to the point where I could only walk half a block before my calf would just hurt, and I couldn't walk. Couldn't run, that was out of the question, because it would hurt so bad. I got to the point where I couldn't mow my lawn without sitting down because it hurt. And I went to another doctor, and he tried to put me through physical therapy, and it still got worse and worse. I went to a chiropractor. So I just basically got it in my head I'm going to lose my leg to be able to walk.
When he came to the office, he had been through a multitude of tests already. In our office, he underwent several non-invasive tests that in fact suggested he had significant blockages in the arteries of both of his legs. Don has peripheral arterial disease. He had a complete blockage of the artery to his right leg at the location of his groin. So there was no direct flow into either of the major branches of the thigh. And in his left leg, he had a blockage up in the pelvis in the iliac artery. It was about 70%.
We did some tests and found that I had blocked arteries, and I was terrified. And he talked me through it, and he identified my fear and explained everything to me and got me comfortable and gave me a lot of hope.
We first began in his right leg because it was more severely affected. His blockage was in the groin, and that's not a good place for minimally invasive procedures such as angioplasty or stenting. And so he underwent an open surgical procedure called an endarterectomy to remove the plaque in entirety from his femoral artery and restore flow to the rest of his leg. In a separate procedure, he then came back and we took him to the catheter lab where he had angiography of the left iliac blockage and a stent placed. And following stent placement, he had complete resolution of symptoms in the left leg as well. There are numerous risk factors for peripheral arterial disease. They include family history, elevated cholesterol, high blood pressure, and cigarette smoking. Early on, the symptoms tend to be exertionally related. You're not going to have symptoms at rest, but you may notice a reduction in your exercise capacity, pain in a particular calf with walking up hills or longer distances. Other subtle changes might include hair loss on the front of your legs, a decrease in temperature in one of your feet, or perhaps even some color changes at the tips of your toes. Don's doing great from a preventative standpoint now after surgery. The most important thing he's done is that he stopped smoking from the day of his first operation. In addition, he's now running actively with his wife, and his cholesterol and blood pressure have been improved since the time of surgery as well. So going forward, he's made a lot of great lifestyle changes already. There's no cure for peripheral arterial disease, so once you have it, it's something that's with you for life, and we have to remember that it can affect any of the blood vessels within the body. So he will be followed on a routine basis in our clinic, looking for recurrence at these sites as well as in the remainder of his lower extremities for the foreseeable future.
I'm new and improved, and now I run with my wife, and my first race was the Speedway race in Newton on the racetrack. And that was an 8K, and my goal was to finish in an hour, and we made it in 53 minutes together. And from there it went to the Blue Mile downtown. We ran the 1 mile, and that was under 9 minutes. And then it worked up to the Dam to Dam, and I finished that race and got my first medal here, and it says finisher. I'm so proud of it. And I'm going to train for a year to do the Twin Cities Marathon. I don't know, I stay active now because I can. I might get tired, but it's never because I don't have blood flow. I think of him all the time when I'm running, on the gift he gave me back.
As a vascular surgeon, we tend to take care of people who we're fighting to save a limb, or we're trying to get them to be able to walk even 2 or 3 blocks or so to get the mail. That's our usual measure of success. And so on the first post-operative visit, when Don comes into the office and brings his framed picture with he and his wife crossing the finish line after running 8 kilometers, it blew us all away. It was amazing.
So I got my life back. I have my legs. I'm not scared to walk anywhere anymore or run. And, my wife, she does longer runs than me, so I still take the bike on our trails, but I run on the straightaways and catch up to her on the curves.
For more information on peripheral artery disease, contact the Iowa Clinic Vascular Department at 515-875-9090.